Our world today stands at a crossroads. We are facing a convergence of global challenges that threaten the very fabric of our civilization. Climate change is disrupting weather patterns and ecosystems, leading to rising sea levels and extreme weather events. Nuclear proliferation casts a dark shadow over global security, with the potential for catastrophic consequences. Economic inequality is widening, creating social unrest and instability. The question is, will our civilization survive the next 25 years? Human history is replete with examples of civilizations that have risen and fallen. The Roman Empire, the Mayan civilization, and the Khmer Empire all succumbed to a combination of environmental degradation, social unrest, and external pressures. Today we face similar challenges, but on a global scale. The interconnectedness of our world means that a crisis in one region can quickly cascade into a global catastrophe. However, amidst these challenges, there is also reason for hope. Human beings have an extraordinary capacity for innovation and resilience. Throughout history, we have overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. We have developed technologies that have transformed our lives, and we have built institutions that promote peace and cooperation. The key to our survival lies in our ability to recognize the challenges we face and to take collective action to address them. The 21st century has ushered in an era of unprecedented global challenges. These threats are not confined to national borders, but transcend geographical boundaries, impacting the entire human race. Climate change, nuclear proliferation, and economic instability stand out as the most pressing dangers to our civilization's survival. Climate change is no longer a distant threat, but a stark reality. Rising global temperatures are leading to more frequent and intense heat waves, droughts, and floods. Sea levels are rising, threatening coastal communities and ecosystems. The scientific consensus is clear. Human activities are the primary driver of this change, and the consequences will be severe if we fail to act decisively. Nuclear weapons remain the most destructive force ever created by humanity. The proliferation of these weapons to more countries increases the risk of accidental or intentional use, with potentially catastrophic consequences for human civilization. The geopolitical tensions between nuclear-armed states further exacerbate this threat, making the need for disarmament and non-proliferation all the more urgent. Economic instability, characterized by widening income inequality, volatile financial markets, and persistent poverty in many parts of the world, poses a significant threat to social cohesion and global security. The gap between the rich and the poor continues to widen, leading to social unrest and undermining the legitimacy of political systems. This instability can fuel conflict and create breeding grounds for extremism, further threatening global stability. Climate change is the defining challenge of our time. Its impacts are already being felt across the globe, from the melting glaciers of the Arctic to the intensifying droughts of Africa. The consequences of inaction are dire, threatening the very foundation of human civilization. Rising global temperatures are disrupting weather patterns, leading to more frequent and intense extreme weather events. Heat waves are becoming more common, posing a severe threat to human health, particularly in urban areas. Droughts are intensifying, jeopardizing food security and water resources. Floods are becoming more frequent and severe, causing widespread damage and displacement. Rising sea levels pose a direct threat to coastal communities and ecosystems. Millions of people live in low-lying areas vulnerable to rising seas. As sea levels continue to rise, these areas will face an increased risk of flooding, erosion, and permanent inundation. The displacement of populations and the loss of valuable land and infrastructure will have significant economic and social consequences. The impacts of climate change are not limited to the physical environment. They also have profound implications for human health, food security, and political stability. Extreme heat can exacerbate respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, while droughts and floods can lead to malnutrition and the spread of infectious diseases. Climate change can also contribute to conflict and instability, as competition for scarce resources intensifies and mass migrations occur. The threat of nuclear war hangs over humanity like a sword of Damocles. While the Cold War has ended, the danger posed by nuclear weapons has not diminished. In fact, the proliferation of these weapons to more countries and the emergence of new nuclear powers have increased the risk of their use, whether accidental or intentional. The destructive power of nuclear weapons is unparalleled. A single nuclear detonation can obliterate an entire city, causing widespread death and destruction. The long-term consequences of a nuclear war would be even more catastrophic, with radioactive fallout contaminating vast areas and potentially triggering a nuclear winter, leading to global famine and societal collapse. The geopolitical tensions between nuclear-armed states further exacerbate the threat of nuclear war. Miscalculation, miscommunication, or an escalation of regional conflicts could lead to a nuclear exchange. The lack of trust and transparency between these states makes it difficult to establish effective mechanisms for arms control and disarmament. The international community has a responsibility to prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons and to work towards their eventual elimination. Strengthening the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, promoting dialogue and confidence-building measures between nuclear-armed states, and investing in nuclear disarmament initiatives are crucial steps towards reducing the nuclear threat. Section 5. Regional fault lines, unstable regions, and their global impact. While global threats like climate change and nuclear proliferation pose existential dangers to humanity, regional instability in various parts of the world can significantly amplify these threats and create new challenges to global security and stability. These regional fault lines can act as catalysts for conflict, displacement, and humanitarian crises with far-reaching consequences. The Middle East remains a region of chronic instability, marked by long-standing conflicts, political transitions, and sectarian violence. The Syrian civil war, the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and the rise of extremist groups like ISIS have created a humanitarian disaster, displacing millions of people and destabilizing the region. The potential for these conflicts to escalate and draw in regional and global powers remains a serious concern. Sub-Saharan Africa faces a complex set of challenges, including poverty, inequality, weak governance, and climate vulnerability. The region is home to some of the world's fastest growing populations, putting a strain on resources and infrastructure. Climate change is exacerbating these challenges, leading to more frequent droughts and floods, threatening food security and livelihoods. South Asia, with its large and growing population, faces similar challenges of poverty, inequality, and climate vulnerability. The region is also home to two nuclear-armed states, India and Pakistan, whose rivalry has led to several wars and near-war situations. The potential for conflict between these countries, particularly over water resources in the context of climate change, remains a major concern for regional and global security. Section 6. The United States Internal Divisions and Global Leadership. The United States, as the world's leading superpower, plays a pivotal role in addressing global challenges. However, the country is grappling with its own internal divisions and political polarization, which can hinder its ability to provide effective global leadership. Political polarization has intensified in recent years, with deep divisions between Democrats and Republicans on a wide range of issues, from climate change to healthcare to immigration. This polarization has made it difficult to reach consensus on policy solutions, leading to political gridlock and inaction on critical issues. Economic inequality continues to widen in the United States, with a shrinking middle class and a growing concentration of wealth at the top. This inequality has fueled social unrest and resentment, undermining social cohesion and political stability. The United States' global leadership role is also being challenged by the rise of other powers, particularly China. The shifting balance of power in the international system has created uncertainty and tension as the United States seeks to maintain its global influence while navigating a more multipolar world. Section 7. China, the rise of a superpower and its challenges. China's rise as a global superpower has been one of the most significant geopolitical developments of recent decades. Its economic growth, military modernization, and expanding global influence have reshaped the international landscape, creating both opportunities and challenges. China's economic rise has lifted millions of people out of poverty and transformed the country into a global economic powerhouse. Its growing middle class and its technological advancements have made it a leader in innovation and manufacturing. China's Belt and Road Initiative, a massive infrastructure development project, aims to connect Asia, Africa, and Europe, further expanding its global influence. However, China's rise also presents challenges. Its growing military capabilities and its assertive foreign policy in the South China Sea and other regions have raised concerns among its neighbors in the United States. China also faces domestic challenges, including environmental degradation, income inequality, and political repression. The decline in the housing sector, one of the biggest in the economy, poses significant risks to financial stability. Additionally, a declining population threatens to slow economic growth and strain social services. Balancing economic growth with environmental sustainability, addressing social inequalities, and promoting political reforms will be crucial for China's long-term stability and its role in the international community. Section 8. Conclusion. The choice between collapse and resilience. The next 25 years will be a critical period for our civilization. We face a convergence of global and regional challenges that threaten our very survival. Climate change, nuclear proliferation, economic instability, and political polarization are all pressing issues that demand our attention and action. However, history has shown us that humans are capable of extraordinary resilience and innovation. We have overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles in the past, and we can do so again. The key to our survival lies in our ability to recognize the challenges we face and to take collective action to address them. We need to transition to a more sustainable way of life, reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, and invest in renewable energy sources. We need to strengthen international cooperation to prevent nuclear proliferation and to resolve conflicts peacefully. We need to address economic inequality and promote social justice. And we need to bridge political divides and work together to find common solutions. The choice before us is clear. We can choose the path of collapse where we succumb to the challenges we face, or we can choose the path of resilience where we harness our ingenuity and our collective will to build a better future for ourselves and generations to come. The future of our civilization depends on the choices we make today. Please like and subscribe